Good afternoon, Haiti Oropesa with Florida You Judge. And I am here today, this afternoon, with Candy Lowe. Yeah, so we're having a little bit of feedback from your end. So let's go ahead. And we're 2 minutes away from start time. So I'm going to be on for about at least 30 minutes with Candy, and we're also going to have Alexandra Gilmore on. I hope everybody's had a good day thus far. We're going to be talking with Candy Lowe about this Saturday's candidate roll call. It seems like it's gonna be a packed house. There's a lot of confirmations of several candidates in Hillsborough County who are running for county commission, school board. There's a lot of candidates for the judicial races in Hillsborough for circuit and county, and the gubernatorial candidate Charlie Crist, who has formerly served this state as governor, he's confirmed that he will be attending Tea and Conversation this Saturday, July 30th, and it's going to be between 10 a.m. and noon. Am I right on that, Candy? And it's gonna and it's gonna be at Al's Finger Licking Soul Food. So let me see. I did have the flyer for that. Let me see something here. We'll give the address shortly. We have 1 minute away from start time. Again, Haiti Oropesa, and welcome to Florida You Judge. Thanks for tuning in, or if you will be tuning in later on when this is a pre-record. We're doing this. I'm doing this. I'm taking the time to sit here with Candy, which is always a pleasure. To let the voters know, particularly those in Hillsborough County, about these candidates. Candy has created an amazing platform, and she's taken several years to build this, which is, I think, magnificent. I think every community around the country should have a tea and conversation, and modeled after what Candy Lowe has built. I've been to tea and conversation several times, and again, that every community should have a tea and conversation where you come in person, you can interact with not only community members, fellow residents where in the community that you're residing in, and with candidates, those who are either in office already or who are seeking to be in office. And welcome, Candy. It is 6 o'clock. And I am so excited to have you on. I know I've been seeing the promos of Tea and Conversation for this Saturday, and explain to us what is you usually have the regular Tea and Conversation. I think is it like every what Saturday of every month?
Thank you so much, Haiti, for having me on, my friend, longtime friend. I'm just excited to be on Florida You Judge. Tea and Conversation in our great city has been going on for 18 years. When we started Tea and Conversation, it was every Saturday because I had a tea shop at that time. So it was housed in the tea shop. As of 2013, Tea and Conversation is every second and fourth Saturday of the month. And this Saturday is the fifth Saturday of the month because Jackie at Al's Finger Licking Good Soul Food Restaurant, they were on vacation. And so we had to make some shifts, but normally it's every second and fourth Saturday where we bring our community together with real talk, sharp talk, live talk. Topics from relationships to school to how to raise children, what's going on in our county commissioner, what's going on in the city, food, you name it. I think we have had a conversation about it. Once we get close to election time, usually about 6 months out, we start seeing the candidates in the community come out and start making their self known to our predominantly African American community. But throughout the year, Haiti, we do have our elected officials that come as well. Our city council, county commissioner, our state reps. We have a number of judges that pop in every single tea and conversation, month to month, come out and sit with us, and we have real conversations. So I'm excited about everyone that has been joining us for the last 18 years in our community.
You know what? And the ones that I've attended, some of them, it's true. That's a real good description, real talk. And it kind of has the sort of feel. I grew up in South Florida, in the Miami area, and back in the day, growing up in around the dinner table, family, my parents, my family, who were Cuban immigrants, they were always following the news, the politics surrounding Cuba, United States relations, and what was happening. And is this year going to be the year that this regime falls? And da 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 da. But they, you know, at the time, I would have never known that growing up, have the interest that I have. Not so much per se in politics, but because you know what, the people that are in office, they impact our lives. So to that
Yes.
extent, I'm interested. I wasn't really much interested back in the day, and thought, kind of question, why do they like the news so much? But it's important for us to be in the know. Why? Particularly as far as I'm concerned, because their policies, what they do when they're in office, impacts my life, right?
Absolutely.
And so we have Gretchen Meckler, Jeffrey Rhodes. Gretchen Meckler says greetings, and greetings to you, Gretchen. And we have Alexandra Gilmore. She is joining us as well. Let me go ahead and take off of that banner, since it is obscuring Candy, and we don't want to do that. But if you do, I'm going to go ahead and put a banner for the call in if you'd like to call in and either engage Candy or Alexandra. Alexandra has been a candidate in the past, right? And good afternoon. I can't hear you, Alexandra.
Sorry about that. Yes, you're
That's
absolutely correct.
okay. So, and she's going to join us in the discussion. But Candy, I just wanted to. I've been to the regular tea and conversation. I don't think that I've ever been to a candidate roll call. And is there a distinction between the regular and the candidate roll call?
Yes, there is. There's a big distinction. Throughout the year, we have a number of people that come, and candidates that are going to run come. But during the candidates roll call, that is open to everyone. That is from if you're running for governor, all the way down to city council, that would like to come to get your message out, to talk about your platform with real talk, real conversation. You can't.
Okay, so tell us what that means. Tell us what that means. Tell us what that means.
Well, you know, I remember at one of our tea and conversation candidates roll call, or just tea and conversation period, that there was someone in the audience that said, well, we were at a different forum and you said something different at the other group of people versus what you say with the African American people.
Wow.
So we have people that are in all circles in the city. Tea and conversation is Republicans, Democrats, and independents.
Awesome.
It is white and black at the candidates roll call, and also has been at tea and conversation from day one. It's always been nonpartisan from day one. But when they come to tea and conversation candidates roll call, it makes you accountable as well to our community. It gives you that platform also to know who we are. I get a chance, Haiti, when someone first start running for office and they come to tea and conversation, I always check out their Facebook page. I check out their Facebook page, and I want to see who their friends are. I want to see who they look like. I want to see if they are diverse as they say they are once they start coming to tea and conversation. And the majority of them are not. But once they come to tea and conversation for about 6 months or so, they now have these newfound African American Black folk friends. So now you have on your page, you have some Black folk. And I have seen that from day one. So don't come to tea and conversation, when they say, oh, we got some Black friends. Oh, I got some Black friends and I like collard greens. Don't come telling us that, because we don't like
that. So basically the roll call is they're gonna have their feet put to the fire as candidates. Yes?
Yes. And the questions are not planned questions. Our last candidates roll call, I know I had some of the candidates would call me or send me a message because they wanted to know what the questions was and wanted to give me questions for them. We don't do that. I don't know what the questions are. We have the people that are regulars that come to tea and conversations are normally the ones that ask the questions. So I don't have a clue what the questions are. Okay. Even our last political cycle, tea and conversation had their slate of who we chose. And that came from people that we talked to every second and fourth Saturday of the month. We had a chance to vet those folk and have real conversation, real dialogue to see exactly who and what they say they were going to do. So we put out our slate, and even with that, I don't make the final decision on who's going to be on that tea and conversation slate.
So let me ask you a question: is that are we gonna know what the slate who is chosen or recommended this Saturday?
I don't know if it's going to come out Saturday or if it's going to come out Monday.
Got it. Understood.
And it may not come out, so we'll see. We'll see what Wanda Monday says.
Okay, today I spoke to Patrick Montega, who owns the Gaceta, La Gaceta. That's a really awesome publication. I get it every Friday in my PO box, and that's something that it's worth every penny. To subscribe to that. He's just raw and real. That he gives real talk as well. I called him today to see if maybe he wanted chime in at the tail end in regards to the judicial candidates, because he has predictions. So he said that he's gonna have the Gaceta's predictions this year too. So the slate, and how is that determined, Candy? Like the recommendations, what's the process? Is it you? Is it some of the people that also?
No. Our last slate that we put out, we just had a conversation. I think it was about our regular people were there, and we had a conversation at Al's Finger Licking Good Soul Food, and we just went down the list. And it was a yay or nay, or we may leave this one off, or just like everyone else does. I mean, they get in, put the names up, and we went down the list and decided on who we wanted to vote for
or recommend to the community. Like, we vetted these people.
Correct.
Have a conversation amongst those, not just newbies to tea and conversation, but established persons that have been with tea and conversation for a long time, that are
correct.
Okay. And then you all powwow together amongst you and decide, yes, no, should we recommend this? Yes, we should. No, we shouldn't. And then have that whole process amongst you. Okay, very well. So just let's go in real quick, since we are promoting tea and conversation for this Saturday, July 30th, 10 a.m. to noon. This is who Candy, for some weeks now, has confirmed. And look, when I was growing up in Miami, in Hialeah, to be more specific, Cuban community, we listened to Spanish broadcasting, news broadcasting, and there was this thing that they always said: In Spanish, vota para que te respeten. And the translation is vote so that you'll be respected. I have a amazing friend here locally, Denise Pate. You know Denise Pate. And we talk sometimes, and you know what? You can complain all you want, but complaining is not going to do anything. We can complain about those in office, those who and but unless you go vote, that's very important, and you need to do your part to get familiarized and do your due diligence. Candy Lowe has, for 18 years, she's established blood, sweat, and tears to create an amazing platform, forum for people in the Hillsborough County, the Tampa Bay region, to be able to go and sit and break bread, talk to community members, talk to other people, discuss these things, just like they did with the foundation of this country. Town Square, going out, talking about the issues of the day, talking about this person that's what our country is founded on. Representative republic, people to represent us. Judges, look at this, what Candy has set up here. Look at all these candidates that have said, yes, I will be at the candidate roll call. We have Mike Isaac, who's running in group 14. There's 4 candidates for that race. A county seat, it's called the People's Court, right? We have Alicia Whiting. I hope I'm not butchering her other last name, Bosick. Am I saying that correctly, Candy? We have her,
Yes.
we have Mike Isaac, we have Lynette Starr Brookins, and Melissa Black. 4 candidates for Group 14 County Court race. We also have incumbent Judge Jared Smith. That's a circuit seat. He is being challenged by Nancy Jacobs, Group 37, for the circuit seat there. And then we have Judge Wesley Tibbles, who's an incumbent. He is being challenged by Belinda Noah. And so that is another circuit race. That is I forgot to get the group number. And if somebody out there, if you all know, but it's a circuit seat race, and they're going to be there. They've confirmed that they're attending the candidates roll call this Saturday. For those of you who reside in Hillsborough, even if you don't, tell your friends, share so that they can know this Saturday. They can attend and interact with these candidates who are going to be there. Judges have third branch of government, have an incredibly important function in our government. You're gonna appear before them or somebody that you know, that you love, for a traffic ticket or a criminal offense or a family law issue impacting your children, financials, just a huge array of things that impact our lives. And judges are empowered to make these decisions. And the good thing about the state of Florida, you get to elect them. You get to go in and elect them, and you get to find out who's going to be the best fit to be entrusted to undertake this. Candy's also gotten commitments. These commission seats in Hillsborough County. We have Angela Birdsong. She's running for Hillsborough County Commission, as is Chase Harrison and Joshua Wastel. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Charlie Crist, he's committed. He's running for governor of Florida. You have the opportunity to go on Saturday, see him, meet him in person, engage with him, because he's running to be the governor of this state, the great state of ours. And lastly, and I know Alexandra's going to have something to say about this probably, because since she ran previously for school board, candidates for school board, there's a Karen Perez who's an incumbent, is being challenged by Ali. Is that Leg? Am I saying that correctly? Candy, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that Leg?
Yes.
Okay, and Damaris
Yes.
Allen.
Leggy.
Leggy. Legge.
Yes.
I hope I'm saying that right. I apologize if I'm butchering that. Ali Legge. Any commentary, Alexandra?
You know
You've
what?
run for school board in the past.
Yes, really nothing specific on anyone, just knowing how we have so much still to do when it comes to Hillsborough County. Like we're so far behind when it comes to, the education for Black children, being academically successful, and just, seeing these ladies and just hoping that they're really in it for the right reason. A lot of people get in and try to run, but just knowing that, are you really here, not just for, children, but Black children, because it always seems like our children are the ones that get left behind. So I'm just looking forward to seeing, like, really what type of plans that they really have, or are they just talking about plans? Because that's what happens. A lot of times it's just talk. These last couple of years, ever since I did run, I've seen it get really quiet and things getting hidden away, and not seeing a lot of, talk or transparency with parents in the community. So that's really what I'm concerned about.
Okay, well, I'm going to get to you real quickly. I did fail to mention we are also you have a commitment by Yvette Lewis, president of the NAACP. There's an election this year, Candy.
Yes, yes. She will be at Tea and Conversation. She comes through probably about every other month. She sticks her head in and asks a couple questions every now and then. But she is our NAACP president, Madam Yvette Lewis. She will be there.
And you know what? Just a little commentary. I live not in Hillsborough, but I find interesting some things that go on there. I do business there. I have loved ones that live in that county. But she's done a great job. I think Yvette Lewis has done a great job. And she is arduous and very passionate and on the right side of the issues that I see coming out in the headlines. She's on the right side in representing that organization to protect Black people. She's doing, I think, a great job. Michelle Rayner's also confirmed attendance. She's running for her. There's been redistricting. She's running in for District 62. Michelle Rayner, she's been serving as a state House rep, and she's also confirmed attendance to Saturday's candidate roll call. I am trying to find you. Give me a moment. Go ahead and whatever else that you would like to say. I want to encourage the community. Go out there.
If I may jump in and say, with the lovely Alexandra Gilmore, her first time coming to the candidates roll call. She's my little sister now. She's my niece now. From day one when I met her. If you could just give some of the people that are coming to the candidates roll call their first time, because I got calls yesterday wanting to know what it's like, what questions are they going to ask me? What is the format? And could you tell them what it was like for you at the candidates roll call that first time?
And just like one time, I love Candy as well, and met her just like that, just at the candidate roll call. Had no idea. So I wasn't one of those people that, born and raised in Tampa, so I didn't know about, the back history of the wonderful, like, Black Business Bus Tour, the Tea and Conversations, until I ran for school board. And she said exactly right. It's the same for everyone. You do not get the questions in advance. I hate to say it. I asked the same question, and we laugh about that to this day, that I was like, so what should I expect? And she said the same thing. We don't do that. It was true. But went there and I was nervous and, but excited. It was the most amazing event. Like it's something that you have to experience. Like I don't ever regret it. If it was the fee or whatever it was so well worth it. So anybody out there that is hesitant, just be ready just be ready to be real, because that's what you're there for, to be real. If you're really passionate about running, if whatever it is that you're running for is your true passion, then there is nothing to worry about. You will be ready to answer the questions, and they do come quick. They are real. They are hard. People are, especially now that we're almost in a recession, people are tired of people playing games with their time. So you're going to get a lot of community people. This is not just Candy. It's the community. And I'm glad that I met Candy. I loved it. I wouldn't have had it any other way, but was a little bit afraid, but enjoyed it. It got me going. So Candy, you already know.
Okay, so Alexandra, this is what I want to ask you. Seeing as there will be some candidates that are running running again for a term, or newly running candidates, what issues do you think that parents, voters should be questioning? What sort of questions or issues should they be thinking about to prepare to engage these candidates for that race?
Absolutely. What, from the last couple years, what's going to change from the last couple years to the years going forward when you're in that seat? When you're in that seat, what are you going to bring to the table to make a difference? You can see that Hillsborough County is not one of the top, academic counties. So what are you going to change, especially for Black kids, when it comes to technology, no use of textbooks, printing out a whole bunch of paperwork and losing a lot of teachers, the lack of food being given to the students. It's so many issues that we continue to talk about, but see no change. So I know there are going to be parents that are talking about, the new best standards coming in. There's new testing coming in. That's going to be smaller testing given. How's that going to affect, the graduation rate? How's that going to affect the kids passing, graduating, on time? And how does that affect the counselors, the guidance counselors? So there's a lot that's coming with change. You have the U.S. history course coming in for high school students. That's going to be a new requirement. It's so much that's going on, and I have not seen change as a mother of two Black boys. I see that the same little thing that people just get quiet, but no one's really helping these children or really addressing the issues. And we have so many kids that are struggling when it comes to that graduation date. They put out these statistics, but that's not always factual. So the community, when they come out, I feel like it's going to be a lot of hard questions, and they have to be ready for, like Miss Candy said. It's something that you just go in blinded, but just be ready, because if you're passionate, you'll get it. If not, then people are going to see that you really aren't there for those children.
Yep. And I like that, because look, here's the thing. At the beginning, when I used to do candidate interviews, I was a newbie, 6-7 years ago. It was more like a softball kind of situation. It was. I'm going to be completely transparent. And you know what? It's a little bit of a balance. Why? Sometimes I ask persons that are in office, I am highly critical, and I ask them to come on this forum to engage me in a conversation about issues, and most of the time they don't come, because some candidates, they don't want to be criticized, or some people in office, they don't want to be criticized. But criticism is not necessarily bad. We all can improve and be better. I like this idea of, you don't know what you're going to get. You're going to walk in and you're going to be tested by fire maybe. But so we know exactly, it has to be real. It has to be genuine, not scripted, that what the question's going to be. It's going to be no. So that's what I like. And listen, I have been to TN Conversation, and it has been like that. Not the candidate roll call, but just the regular TN Conversation. And it's real. It's real. And I love that aspect of TN Conversation. So we have a couple of minutes left. I wanted to ask Kenny, and I wanted to give a shout out to Judge Robin Fuson. One of the questions that I did what is part of every interview on with judicial candidates is, are you just showing up to tea and conversation now that you're running? I'm not going to name any names. I'm like on a new track here, trying to be positive, trying to show a lot of grace. So we're not going to say any names, but I take notice. Robin Fuson should be that he's real. I asked him, "Are you going to disappear if you get elected?" I always ask that question, or mostly. I also ask a lot about demeanor, but that's one I see that there are some, and I'm not going to name names. You just show up when you're running. Okay. I can say Mike Isaac, he's running. He's been attending consistently. He started, I suppose, when some years ago he began to run, but there has been seasons where he's not running or campaigning, and he has stayed attending, connected. I have seen candidates who go just when they're running, and if they lose, they disappear until another cycle comes, and then boom, they're there again. So, I have seen, and I'm not going to name names, candidates who, I'm not going to say the name because I'm not in that spirit, okay? But there was someone that in 2016 who lost big, and at the 11th hour, they wanted to connect with the Black community, who the perception was had been ignored, and they wanted to overnight make the relation with the community that takes time, years, not just overnight. And that person lost, okay? And where are they? You don't have to be in office to serve the community. You don't. Okay?
Correct.
So we know, I see, I deduce, I infer. You lost, and you were all, you know, just trying to either feign, or it seemed like you're just all gushy with the community members. Oh, vote for me, da 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 da. And then you lose, and you're nowhere. You're nowhere there. So were you real in your representations, in your expressions of please vote for me, da da da? Because you're so judicial candidates. Good on Robin Fuson, because he's always there. He's always there. And some other, so speak about that, and speak about Candy in the few minutes that we have left. What should those who attend your tea and conversation, and I admire you, Candy. I admire you. What you've done is something amazing and incredible. Again, I wish that for every community everywhere, to sit there and just have connection with other humans, different diversity, Hispanic, Black, white. It's something good. It's something good. Talk to, what should those who are in attendance, what kind of questions should they be thinking about or wanting to know as to judicial candidates?
Well, first question is, when did you file for office? Have you ever been to tea and conversation? Because the majority of them, their campaign manager or their consultants know about tea and conversation. There are actually a few judge candidates that won and they come back. Jack Gutman does.
Yeah, he does. That's true.
Jack Gutman does. He pops in at least every other month. He and his wife. We don't have an event without him coming to the bus tour. He and his wife. Also, Greg Green. He pops in. He and his wife, off and on. Never forgot about us. And of course, Michael Isaac. And I can't say enough about Robin Fuson. I think in 4 years, he may have missed 4, maybe 5 tea and conversations in 4 years. As a matter of fact, he messaged me today to see if we're going to be on the inside, on the outside, so he will know how to dress for Saturday.
Yeah,
So
I think
now,
it's looking like it should be an outside event for real. It looks like there's going to be a lot of people.
We have, we have a lot of people scheduled. We have about 17 candidates that are going to be there, plus our super voters that are going to be there. Let me go back to this, if I may, Haiti, when you said accountable, holding them accountable. I have saw over the years that candidates, once they become an elected official, they have no desire for you to try to hold them accountable. That's when the fussing starts. That's when the tug of war, if I may, start. Once you start to ask questions and that whole accountable piece comes in. Let me go to something that Alexandra said about our Black children, our Black boys. Everyone that's running for office, for school board, know what goes on with our Black children, period. Even the school board members that are there now. But once they are elected, there's no more Black talk. There's no more Black children talk. There's no more Black boys talk. There's no more of that. And our children are getting further and further behind, and someone is still getting paychecks. I don't know what has to happen for us to see that we still have, I'm not sure how many failing schools. The number is still somewhat the same in reference to our failing schools. Is it just falling on deaf ear that we have the failing schools in our community? I have been doing this a long time, Haiti.
Yeah.
I've been at it a long time, and I tell you, the conversation is still the same. And we're on 18 years, and the conversation is the same.
So, based on that, Alexandra, are some of these challenges that are occurring for with against incumbents that want another term? What do you think about that? Are those justified?
So what Candy said, to go tag along what she said, is absolutely correct. You just don't hear of it anymore. But I bet you if real parents like really came out and we really took parents out and said, how did your child do on the 3rd grade FSA testing? How many Black boys were held back a year? A whole bunch of parents would speak out, not out of embarrassment, because there's nothing wrong with these children. The test is set up to fail our Black kids. Ask how many parents have a child in a reading class in high school. So what I've seen, just like she said, that's always ignored by all of them on that school board. I'm not going to say names, but clearly, because you hear nothing, you see nothing. It's just pushed under the rug, and everyone carries on because it doesn't affect their children. Or you have parents that don't know, aren't aware, don't know what to say, who to talk to. So that's where we lose, people like knowing something's wrong, but doesn't know are they the only ones? Because they keep us divided, right? And so as Black people, they don't talk, they're not transparent. They would say their favorite words, say, let me be transparent. Well, why don't you really be transparent and say the number of Black and brown kids that are in a reading class all the way from 6th grade to their senior year? And you put them in a reading class to help them pass the test. But wait, you don't even have a teacher in the class. How do you pass a class that doesn't have a teacher? And then wait, you don't have textbooks. So is it that I can't read, or is it that you tell me to put my race in the test? I have to put African American, Black. And so that, and then you just give me the lowest score and to keep me on that trail of failure so that I get frustrated. And we haven't probably heard this verbiage in a while, to keep me on the path to that pipeline to prison. Right? Because how did we get out the classes? We don't have teachers. We don't have books. We don't have technology. We don't have great curriculum. And no one, old schools, bad food. I'm hungry. I'm frustrated. I'm tired. It's raining. I don't have a car. I got to walk 2 miles. It's 2 mile radius to get to school. These are all things to frustrate a child. Now, let's say I'm in foster care. Let's say I live with my grandmother. Let's say my mom works 2 jobs. Let's say my parent died. Now I'm already stressed, and you put me in a situation to keep me more stressed. And what's going to happen? I'm going to just shut down. And then that's where what they say, mental health comes in, right? Because now you put all me in this little box that you already knew I'm lacking money. Everyone's lacking money right now. This is not one person thing. Food is expensive. Everything has gone up. You see it on the news. We see it when we go in the grocery store. So I don't have food. I don't have a car. You're telling me that I need I'm in reading class from 3rd grade because you failed me 3rd grade. And it's just a continuous cycle to set a person up. And we hear it all the time. We see the candidates running. But really, they'll come out to tea and conversation, talk about it. And then, like Candy said, they get on the school board. We've seen it. And what happens? Nothing.
Well,
nothing.
Yep.
Elvis Piggott. Hi. Thanks for tuning in, Elvis. And he said, real talk. We have Boo for Life Terry. Good evening. Good evening to you. And we also have one of the candidates who's going to be appearing on Saturday who has confirmed, Starlinette Brookins. Hey, Star, thanks for tuning in. I'm sure that the voters are going to greatly appreciate you attending this candidate roll call this Saturday so that they can engage you and while they make their choice as to who they're going to vote in your race. So I did mention Michelle Rayner already. Okay, so here's the flyer, the one that I was looking for, so that the public knows those who are viewing know where this is going to take place. It's going to be 2302 East 7th Avenue. That's Tampa, and that's in Ybor City. It's called Al's Finger Licking Good Soul Food. It's good. I'm addicted to the pork chop. It's a good food. And so this Saturday, July 30th, 2022, and it is going to be hot tea, and the fire extinguisher cracked me up on the flyer. It is going to be hot. And look, I think it's going to be a packed house. You might want to go early to get yourself a seat because I think it's going to be packed.
Yeah, it's let me mention too, I spoke with Jackie earlier today, Haiti, and she said that they're going to have the food started earlier on Saturday. So she's expecting a nice crowd. So food will start about 9:45. And the candidates can get there, put their yard signs out. I encourage everyone to bring about 10-20 yard signs, and making sure that you connect with someone to walk away with your signs. I encourage the candidates to take pictures, give out if they have palm cards, flyers, anything like that. Bring all of that information and give your information out.
Al's Finger Licking Good Soul Food, 2302 East 7th Avenue, Ybor City, 813-394-6363. One last question before we bid everybody good evening so that they can enjoy their evening, hopefully after a long day of work. Candy, all these candidates that have confirmed, let's suppose a candidate hasn't confirmed yet. Do they still have time to reach out to you and say, hey, I don't want to miss that Saturday. I want to be there to engage?
Yes, they can. They can give me a call at 813-394-6363. Again, that's 813-394-6363. And just yesterday, we had 2 more candidates confirmed. So I'm sure we'll get that right on up to the end. I got a message today that Harry Cohen will be there. He's our county commissioner, good friend of mine. He's not running until, I don't know
You want
if
me to go
he's
check
in.
that out? I hope I can check
Yeah,
that.
I think he's in November. I think he's in November, so he's not in the primary, if I'm not mistaken. I can't
I don't
remember,
think
but
he
he
does
did
have a
message
race.
me. Yeah, he's in there with Scott Livingston.
Okay, so his term. Wait, so I'm looking at his in Ballotpedia. Is this correct? Hillsborough County.
Yeah,
It says his
they
term ends in
are
2022.
okay.
How many? I
Yes,
don't
I
know. That
think
doesn't sound right.
his race is in November. But he
Okay.
called, he said he was going to be there. But Scott had mentioned to me a month ago that he was going to try and make it as well. I just didn't post anything about him because I think the race isn't until November. But we have to confirm that.
Okay, so thank you, ladies, for joining me today, and this is all for you, the public, the electorate. Thank you, Candy, for making this available to voters. Very important that they go out and engage with the candidates. Um, we went over 30 minutes. That happens when you have good souls and good conversation and good vibage. Haiti Oropesa with Florida U Judge, with Candy Lowe, Tea and Conversation, and Alexandra Gilmore. Thank you also for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Bye, Candy. Bye, Haley. Bye.
Bye. Good evening, everyone.
Thank you.